He's a smart guy, but I've always been a little bit weary of him. Why? I'll tell you why. He reminds me of a lot of scammers online, because more than trying to gain a viewership for his content, he's always upselling some shit that always seem a little sketchy. Like if you go on his show, he's trying to promote Minect, which is like his app. And we get it, you know, everybody loves products and merchandise. And like, I'm not saying that because he's a YouTuber, you shouldn't have that shit. We have merch. But there's something about him that just kind of breeds just pure capitalism, and also like capitalism probably at the expense of his audience. And recently it's kind of came out that, you know, a bunch of people in his audience got scammed. And there's a shit ton of stories that are coming out left, right, and center basically saying, yo, what's been happening with Patrick Bet-David and some of the things he's been running, capitalized off in his YouTube audience, is almost like damn near either unethical or borderline fraud. Okay? So he throws an event, and there was a like huge sponsor. And the sponsor basically gets access to the people that went to the show, and they have a whole presentation. But essentially, the sponsor scammed his audience and scammed him for $1 million. Or not, actually, I don't know how much money, but he was paid $1 million by the sponsor to get access to his audience. But the sponsor scammed his audience. So CoffeeZilla called him to be like, yo, bro, you know, like this company you worked with and you kind of vouched for because you took business with them. And keep in mind, this is not like some guy that's like doesn't know. This is a business guy. Like if you listen to Patrick Bet-David, he talks business. It's business. He's always talking about like, you know, back in the office, or he's talking about like his days working, selling insurance or whatever the case is. So that's like his thing. So when you see a scam happen underneath his nose, people start getting weary of him because people used to listen to his voice unilaterally. Listen to this, though.
Quick update. Patrick Bet-David reached out to me shortly after I posted saying that he has to apologize. He should address the whole Christopher Delgado situation. That video is here. I uploaded it because I thought it is not going to make sense what we're talking about unless you have that context. He immediately did me say, hey, look, I want to call. So I'm posting this video immediately afterwards, unedited, because I want you guys to hear my call with Patrick Bet-David. I addressed the apology. You know, you should apologize for taking this guy on, this Ponzi scheme. You promoted it. You'll hear me talk about the $1 million. Say, hey, can you commit right now to getting that?
Okay. Oh, that's when he talks about it. I want to... Here we go. Okay.
Just want to talk. So you can hear him address all the payment from personally, huge payment from a Ponzi schemer, and I want to know if they're going to pay it back. It's just as simple as that. I want to know if they're going to apologize for their role in legitimizing a total scammer.
Chat, scamming is like scamming and internet shit just go together real well, you know?
Which hasn't been done yet as far as I'm aware. I reached out to the PBD organization, Patrick Bet-David personally. It's been about a week. I haven't heard back, so I have to talk about it. Now, if you don't know the full lore, let me bring you up to speed really quick.
Let's go.
Goliath Ventures was a Ponzi scheme that took in over $320 million of regular people, retirees, business owners' money under the promise of making them multiple percents per month. We made a CoffeeZilla video about it recently. Christopher Delgado recently talked to the press here without his lawyer present, and we reported this back in October to federal authorities, and about 6 months later, Christopher Delgado was officially arrested.
The Justice Department says the 34-year-old scammed investors out of $328 million through his company, Goliath Ventures.
Meaning we're no longer speculating here. He has been formally charged. He's even admitted a lot of this in interviews.
What happened to their money that should have been sitting in an account?
Their money was being used to make distributions.
To who?
To either them or other investors.
And what else did you use the money for?
I mean, we used it for corporate events. We used it for personal spend.
So this goes way beyond the like, oh, it's just allegations.
Now, I want to keep connecting it back to Patrick Bet-David. I'm telling you, Patrick Bet-David, he's like one of those guys where like it feels like anytime you're listening to him for too long, he's gonna require you to spend some money. Like it kind of comes off like he's always trying to peddle some shit, and with those guys you become weary of because it kind of comes off more than greed. Sometimes it comes off like just like a finesser.
Bro, like Christopher Delgado has confessed to a lot of this behavior. And where Patrick Bet-David comes into all of this is because he was a huge form of social proof for Christopher Delgado to seem legit. His entire organization kind of made this guy mainstream.
Goliath Ventures, founded in 2019. Goliath Ventures is a global private equity firm focused on blockchain, founded by Chris Delgado. It's built on 3 pillars: technology, opportunity, and community.
And this is why I reached out to Patrick Bet-David and his team only to get no response. I'm expecting some accountability here. Our story starts in 2025 when this guy, Christopher Delgado.
Okay, so long story short, he scams these motherfuckers for $328 million. Then they get Patrick Bet-David on the phone in the next thing. And listen to this call. Like, I rock with Patrick, but I ain't gonna lie, that nigga sound like a scammer gang.
Confirming that I'm recording starting now. This is Patrick Bet-David. We're talking about the Vault Conference sponsored the Goliath Ventures. Look, ultimately the big question is this. One, are you returning the $1 million paid to your consulting company back to the receivership, back to the victims? And two, I mean, I think, look, a lot of people got hurt in this. You were the number one, probably, credibility person in this. How does that feel? I mean, are you going to apologize? Are you going to address it, publicly? I think people want to know. People look to you, as this entrepreneurship guy. It is, frankly, a bad look.
Yeah, so first of all, you hate to see things like this. Hate to see things like this that happens. And every once in a while, this takes place. When an issue like this comes up.
Hang up on that nigga, man.
This is, typically when we do sponsorship, if you know anything about me, Steven, I hate doing sponsorships. We stopped doing sponsorships on the podcast 2 years ago because of this exact reason. We literally stopped. It's probably cost us $15 to $20 million of sponsorship the last 2 years. The only place we've taken sponsorship money for, outside of the basic YouTube AdSense that you get, that you're accustomed to it as well, we do the events. So if I do a Vault conference, there's a moment for networking and people set up their booth. And so this guy came to the Vault conference for the last 4 years. And at the end of it, one of my reps comes up to me. I've never spoken to him. We've seen him at the event, typically with everybody else. And he says he wants to be the title sponsor. Okay, great. He goes through the whole thing. We go through the background that our legal team does. Obviously, we make reference calls. We call others to see what they can say about him. And we call people that we had known for 10 plus years.
Nobody flagged him. Nobody flagged the 4 to 5% a year or a month. I'm sorry.
No, it's a fair question. It's the most disappointing thing. Not one person that's done business with him flagged him. Okay. And so then we say, great.
Yo, he's laughing because he's like, yo, Patrick, you scamming too, bro.
Let's go through the sponsorship. Now, when you do sponsorship, you have to deliver on stuff. So meaning we have to set up the booth. We have to set up all these different places where people walk up to them. These 20 by 30, 30 by 30, 40 by 40 booth that you create for them, that they have an opportunity for people to go through. So we flew in. Typically when somebody becomes a sponsor, we fly in, we meet them in Vegas, and then we show them, or whatever hotel we're going to be at, and we'll say, hey, here's your location. You're the title sponsor. We're going to put it here. And then, their logo is going to be in different places, but it's not a endorsement. So it's not like I endorse. It's a sponsorship.
It does feel like an endorsement, though.
You're right. No, you're right. I agree. And by the way, again, we learn. So for us,